Okay, so today I'm here with Christina in her beautiful home, and we started out in the living room. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this space? For instance, this gorgeous piece back here.
So this piece is a antique grisaille wallpaper panel, or panels, I should say. I really wanted something to make a statement on this wall. This is the room that has the tallest ceilings in our home. And I had looked all over online and stumbled upon this actually on Instagram. It comes from a local antique boutique in Georgetown, and I saw it and thought it was amazing. Went to go visit in person, and they actually allowed me to try it on approval. So they brought it here.
Nice.
And when it went up in the house, my husband looked at me and said, "I don't think it's going back, is it?" And it didn't.
You know, it was staying.
I think it's around 1820s, and it's French. And one of the things I loved about it is it has a beautiful willow, which here in Alexandria along the Potomac and in the DC area, there are tons of beautiful willows. So I thought it was really at home.
So now we're upstairs in the sitting room, and we obviously have to discuss this right here.
So this is a familiar piece to a lot of people. This is a replica of a Gilbert Stuart original of George Washington. It's a very famous portrait of him. My husband loves presidential history, as do I. It's something that we've always sort of shared. When we moved to Alexandria, it was right after we got married, and for our first wedding anniversary, I gifted him this piece. Paper, I guess, works. It's on canvas, but it's oil on canvas, but we'll call that paper. This replica was done by a student who was looking at the original Gilbert Stuart piece in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York in 1900. So he did it looking at the original piece.
Oh, interesting.
It was, I found it on Cherish,
Yeah.
and I think it shipped from California, as I recall. But I feel like it's very at home in Alexandria. We like to say that George is always judging us. He's got kind of a judgy look on his face. But we like that he's back in the neighborhood.
I don't think there could be a better neighborhood to put this. This
Absolutely.
is fantastic.
When George Washington came to town, he came to Old Town. He actually had a residence in Old Town, in addition, obviously, to Mount Vernon, which is just up the road.
Love it. Okay, so there's another art piece in here that we have to discuss. It's back here in this corner. Why don't you tell us about that?
So over our bar, when I first did this room, I didn't have any art over in this nook. I just had the bar, and I kind of had George be our focal point. But I love to collect fun pieces as I find them. For example, this I found, it is a antique hand-drawn botanical. So it's all hand-painted and drawn, that I got in Charlottesville with my great friend Brian. We went down for the day. This is a piece that I found just at like a little sidewalk kind of antique booth. And then this piece, which a lot of people ask me about, is really funky. I actually bought it for my mom originally, and then I had it here leaning. I was going to mail it to her. And when I saw it in this room, I thought, actually, that looks so great. So I hung it up, and then I subsequently apologized that I would not be sending it to her. But I've bought a lot of my art, not to plug shamelessly too much, but at the Opportunity Shop in Georgetown. And this is one of those pieces. I just thought it was so cool and different, and I love the colors. I'm really loving chocolate brown with red, and I think that it like the depth of it really works.
The artwork is fantastic up here.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I love this area over here so much. I was just talking to you about how did you plan the lines and symmetry? And you were kind of jokingly saying like it just sort of happened. Tell us a little bit about what you did over here.
So my husband and I lived in DC for many years in apartments before we bought our house here in Old Town. And this console from CB2 like followed us to many apartments. And I love the mix of traditional with things with a little bit cleaner lines. It has great storage in here. So this piece stayed, especially with a house with like a little bit of lower ceilings and the beams. I felt like having something low was kind of nice. So we started with this. I've always used it for coffee table books. So that was sort of a no-brainer. The frame TV, the invention of the frame TV has been a game changer for design. And so, you know, naturally, this is where we spend a lot of our time. We're big TV people, guilty as charged. So a TV above in our sitting room is kind of a must. I wanted to do a frame TV. My husband hung it over the console, and then I used different pieces to try to fill in the spaces to kind of make it seem intentional. I bought these antique botanical prints in Middleburg. And then these were done by a friend, an incredible artist, Josh Young, who is now in DC. And I saw them at the winter show, the Washington Winter Show, and he had these big, beautiful versions. And I asked him if he would do smaller versions for me. And he did, and I love them. And they kind of remind me of the flowers from my wedding. Which is a really lovely memory. And we switch out the art all the time. Sometimes it gets changed out to things that I'm not necessarily approving of, which is funny. But there's the National Museum of Korea has a really great section on frame like Samsung art right now. So I've been loving a lot of the Asian inspired pieces.
I love that. Just so you guys know, George is watching this artwork as well.
Got to mix it up. I mean, botanicals, Shwinasari, or I guess it's Korean, so it's not technically, but I think there's a lot of magic in mix, and it doesn't all have to match.
It's fantastic. Okay, so we've moved over into the dining room, and I really want you to start by talking about these beautiful window treatments.
Thank you. So I started in this room with the Bali High wallpaper, and the color of this is beige on tint, and it's a wallpaper by Quadrille. I initially wanted to do the drapes in here out of the same fabric as the wallpaper. But I really felt like I needed more color, and my boss, Mariah Pollard, who is kind of the queen of color, she really pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I'm so glad she did. It's one of my favorite things in our home. This is a manual canvas fabric in the color curry, and I just think it's so rich and so beautiful. But, you know, even though the fabric itself was a little bit of a splurge, this grosgrain ribbon was like a very inexpensive ribbon, and we went with an olive color to sort of pull in a lot of the greens in the house, and it's just like such a cool color combination. I'm so glad that I listened, and it definitely makes me happy. And
why don't we, I'm just thinking this kind of ties in with the tablescape. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that works with it?
Absolutely. So I love, as I mentioned, blue and white, and pulling the blue and white in here with this great Tuckernuck tablecloth.
This is Tuckernuck?
It's Tuckernuck, yes.
I didn't know they did.
They have a whole home line, which I love, and I have a couple of their tablecloths. They're like really great material, and they iron beautifully. I also love Janori, and my mom and aunt started helping me collect it as Christmas presents. So every year they'll give me a little bit, which I think is a great thing to start, because it's like, you know, when it comes time to the holidays, your family never knows what to get you. So I think have them start you a collection of something.
Love that. we've moved into the nursery, which is absolutely adorable. I can't wait for you to share us about how you made some of these decisions. It's so cute.
Thank you so much. So I knew that I wanted to, or I needed to add additional closet space in this room because closet space in Old Town is at a premium. So I started with the built-ins. I wanted them to feel pretty seamless and like an alcove that the crib could fit into. I really wanted to balance above the crib, kind of make it feel a little bit like a princess bed.
Yeah.
And these window treatments here, I actually found on Facebook Marketplace. And before you're like, what are you talking about?
What?
They fit the window, but they were in a different fabric. And I had them recovered, which is a great hack because the expensive part can often be just the construction of it to begin with. So I bought different fabric, had them reworked. They were scalloped at the bottom, and I did a Greek key cutout and mirrored that over the crib. This is a Temple Studio stripe, and I just love the peach color. I didn't want the room to feel too baby, and I wanted to feel like a room that she could grow into, that I want to spend time in, because I'm obviously in here a lot. And then above the crib, this is a Hermes scarf that I bought in New York on my first trip away from her. When she was 2 months old, my friend and I went to New York on sort of a mom vacation that we felt like was very well deserved. And I just thought it was so great and had all the colors in here and little animals, and it's really cheeky and fun. And I love the fact that maybe one day she'll want to wear it if she can, like, you know, wants to break the glass and
into your bedroom, and obviously we have to talk about the bed. Why don't you tell us about how you came up with this?
So I've always loved bed hangings. I think they are just a great way to make a cozy retreat. This is not a very big bedroom, so I think it actually kind of makes it feel bigger in a weird way because your eye goes all the way up to the ceiling. I did a floral, which a lot of people would think, you know, guys would not want to have floral in their bedroom. But balancing it out with a ticking stripe, I feel like it's, you know, actually sort of masculine. And I know the color palette is one of my husband's favorites, green, blues, and purples. So he felt like this was still manly enough for him. I did a wallpaper on the walls with Farrow and Ball green ground on the trim and the doors, and actually a contrast on the moving parts of the windows in a purple. I just felt like it kind of popped.
Super unique. I love that.
Thank you. So this is our laundry room. I wanted to do a paper that had a white ground, a white background, because these cabinets came with the house and we didn't feel like putting money into redoing them. And having a paper with a white ground sort of allowed them to kind of disappear. And I've always loved Latouche, this pattern. And, you know, again, blue and white is one of my favorites, and I just felt like this would be super fun. We took it onto the ceiling sort of to make the room feel enveloped in the print. It's a great place to do laundry, and in this house, this room does a lot of work. I put a little lamp on the dryer with a matching lampshade, and did just a soft, natural Roman shade, and painted all of the trim in a in Hague Blue by Farrow & Ball in a high gloss, and I think it just looks really fun. And it's a, you know, if you're gonna do laundry, might as well be a little chic.
Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to our guest Christina for sharing her beautiful home. The reason I started this series was because I found so much inspiration in other people's homes, and I hope that it encourages you to do the same and feel proud of your own space.